Good morning, everybody. My name is Ryan Yarbrough, and I am your Regional Technology Director for South Florida. And we are doing Take Command of Social Media today in September. And we've got a huge lineup. I'm going to go ahead and pop this up. We have Jess Merida, we have Tara Carter, Nelly Pindar, and Sasha Valdez. And they're all going to be talking about social media in one way or another. They each have their own little niche. And we're lucky to have Jess, who's going to be out of the KW Reserve office. And she's going to show you how to do 4+ deals in 2 months of working within social media. So let me go ahead and bring on Jess. Hi, Jess. How are you?
Hi, everyone. How are you? Thanks
All right.
for being here.
If you want to introduce who you are and why people should be here to listen to you today.
Yeah, sure. Well, my name is Jess Merida. I am based out of the KW Reserve office in Palm Beach Gardens. And for the past couple of months, I've been really focusing on my social media, particularly Instagram. And as a result of that, I've actually been able to secure 4 leads, 2 listings and 2 buyer leads in these past couple of months, just by kind of buckling down on my Instagram. So I'm here today to kind of talk to you about how I got there.
Okay, so if I'm a viewer today, what would I expect to get out of this session? Because we only have a 30-minute session here, and then we're going to break off for 30 minutes and let you guys go implement what Jess is going to teach you. So what should they expect to learn?
Yeah, well, I'm just going to talk a little bit more about my background, my real estate experience, and then I'm going to just talk about kind of exactly what I've been doing with Instagram. I've got like 4 tips to kind of follow, and
Perfect.
and that's really going to be like the main takeaway from here is kind of learning what I've done, and hopefully I think they're really easy, really easy to do. So
let you go for it. All right.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Perfect. I did put together a few slides. Hey, everyone. Okay, that's me. The next slide, please. Awesome. So I'm just going to, as I said before, I'm just going to talk a little bit about my real estate experience, what exactly I've been doing on Instagram, what you guys can do like right away. And then I would love to hear from you guys. If you guys have any questions about social media, Instagram, real estate in general, please feel free to contact me. And of course, I love referrals. So I'll be sharing my info at the end as well. Next slide, please. Awesome. So a little bit about me. I've been doing real estate now for a little over 18 years. I do have over 450 million in sales. So I've been doing this for a while. I am a broker associate. I have been on the ALC for the past 3 years of the KW Reserve office. I've actually been with Keller Williams, I think, for close to 8 years now. So it's been a good ride here at KW. I do serve on the Professional Standards Committee for my local real estate board. I've been doing that actually for about 3 years, and before that, I had served on a different committee. So I do try to take time to kind of better our profession and to kind of get back whenever I can. And I do have 2 teenagers. My son just turned 13, so it's official. I have 2 teenagers now, and they keep me like crazy busy. It's almost busier now than when they were little, and I'm really active, at their schools. All right, next one. So here's what I've been doing. We've had a lot of like awesome people come and like talk to our office, and one of the big takeaways I had learned was to kind of pick a platform and to start focusing on it, rather than kind of going through all the platforms, because I think that can be very overwhelming and very time consuming. So I decided to focus on Instagram. And what I really have noticed with Instagram is that consistency is key. They do like you to be active on Instagram. So here are some things that I've been doing, like some quick tips. So the first thing is that I do make 3 posts a week. And with that, I do try to post 2 to 3 times a day on my stories. And at first, that posting 2 to 3 times a day on my stories seemed very daunting. I was like, what am I going to even put on my stories? But kind of a tip there is a lot of times you can actually just repost something. So oftentimes repost something cute that I find, and I can just post it right away onto my story. So it doesn't always have to be like new content. And the second thing to keep in mind is that people want to get to know you. So they kind of want to know like what your day-to-day life is. So I'll just post pictures of me and my car because I'm either always in my car for work or for Ubering my children around, and so it doesn't have to be crazy creative regarding your stories. So the next thing to keep in mind, my next tip to you is to follow the 80-20 rule. So most of my content is about like lifestyle and personal. If you do come and follow me, you'll notice I do give all sorts of tips just about like the home, like in general. So that's kind of like a lifestyle. And then I do try to post some things about my family and my kids, when they'll allow me. With my teenagers, they don't always allow me to post about them, which is kind of funny. And then I keep about 20% business related. Quite honestly, I don't post all of my listings or all of my just solds because I don't want it to be too salesy. But but I do, of course, need to post something about real estate. And the other thing about business that I will try to post is just some key tips in general. So it can be anything about like what's going on with the Fed rates. They just met last week. How to work your appraisals are kind of a little bit wonky right now. So tips on how to work through appraisals. So I try to with business in that category, I try to include my just solds and my listings, but I also try to include some business tips as well. The other big thing to keep in mind is to follow the 5-5-5 rule. And I know like that's been kind of like thrown around KW quite a bit, but it actually like does go a long way. And with that, I try to spend at least like 15 minutes a day focusing on that. So the 5-5-5 rule is when you dislike 5 posts, you comment on 5 posts, and when you comment, it's not just like, oh, love this. You should really kind of make a thoughtful comment, have it be like, really kind of elaborate on your comment and not just 2 or 3 words. And then the last thing would be to DM 5 people. One tip that has been shared with me recently in terms of DMing 5 people, I have a lot of people now following me and I don't necessarily have all of their information. So sometimes I'll DM them and be like, hey, love your social media page, would love to stay better in touch. I'm in the process of updating my business, network. Would you mind sending me, your phone number and email, and, would love to stay better in touch. And believe it or not, I've actually gotten quite a bit of positive response that way. And then it also helps me keep my database, like healthy and active as well. But the other thing to kind of keep in mind though, and this part of what you're doing is it's important to time block. I say to spend at least 15 minutes a day kind of, supporting, other people on the social media platform. But that can get really, it could be a time suck. Before you know it, it's been like an hour. So, really try to time block this portion of it, as much as you can. And the last thing is, leverage when necessary. So, what has helped me is a couple of months back, I did hire somebody to help me make my posts. And basically all that they do for me is I send them all the content. So once a week, every Monday, we get together and we kind of powwow as to what the posts are going to be for that week. And I send her my ideas. I send her my videos. I send her my videos. I send her my, what I wanted to say, any pictures I might have. And basically, she just kind of makes it pretty. And then she just makes sure that the post, gets done. For me, I found somebody who was pretty inexpensive, and the way that I look at it is, I also have a transaction coordinator that, helps me, with my business as well. I do all the main work, and then we have a TC kind of come in, at the end, kind of make sure things, move smoothly and to help free up my time so I can focus on my business. Well, in a way, I kind of look at her as the same way. Like, I'm providing all the content, all the pictures, all the videos, all the information, and then she just helps me kind of like bring it to the finish line and makes it pretty, and then she actually makes the post. This way, I know for sure that I'm posting my 3 days a week. And then it's up to me to really post, daily, on my stories. So that's like a tip. And I know that there's some people that are out there, like who I found, who have not been so, that are not so, crazy expensive, that could, help you, in that way. One last thought, kind of getting back to the 5-5-5 rule. One thing I have forgot to mention is that when you are reaching out to these 5 people, do try to reach out to people that you normally don't interact with. That way, you them kind of show up a little bit more on your feed, and those are other people that you haven't, that you normally don't interact with. So that way, you get a little bit more exposure, and you'll get some, or like lead, that way. So Ryan, that's like a lot of, most of my Instagram tips. I don't know if anybody has any questions at this point, or if you just want me to kind of keep on going.
There's a question here. If you want to go ahead and answer that one.
Where do I see it?
It's on the screen.
Oh,
it's the best way to find someone to help with this type of social media.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, I had found somebody just by asking around in my office, believe it or not. But, you can also either do a post on your social media, which is probably one of the best ways. Or maybe you could, I would actually just probably post on your social media if there's nobody in your office who might know of somebody. I'm sorry, I see another question coming up.
Yeah. So cost per social, they're all over the place. Do you have any range?
Yeah, absolutely, and I completely agree with that. I have actually, so I had interviewed about 3 different people before making a decision on who I went with, and they had ranged from like $1,500 a month, which seemed, and as the $300 a month. I think what's important to you is to sit down with those people and to understand exactly what you want your results to be and what you want them to, what you want to accomplish from this. When I went into it, I really just wanted to, like, my goals were to gain followers, increase my exposure, and and hopefully get leads as a result. And that is exactly what happened. And I think it's important. Some of the one that was at $1,500 a month, she was very sophisticated. So she had all sorts of like analytics that she was going to be sharing with me like on a weekly basis. And that just, I wasn't ready to kind of go to that extreme. So I think it's just important to understand what you want to get from it. And then that will help you, kind of guide you as to where you are. So I had quotes at 300 and I had quotes 1,500. So I personally went with the $300 route because, as I said, I really just wanted to gain followers, increase my exposure, and as an indirect result, get leads, and that's actually exactly what happened.
And our friend James here says, "Great job." And
thanks, James.
Nigel wants to know, do you have any tips on Reels?
Yeah, I think with Reels, I think my tip in general is to do what you do best. So if you are just good at just whipping out your phone whenever you're out to do a quick video, I recommend doing that. If you're just really good at taking still shots or still pictures, and that's what you just feel most comfortable with, then just stick with that. And then it's really easy to put it into a reel. Instagram, I mean, Instagram kind of just kind of like walks you through that. I think with reels, I think I don't really know exactly like what like the guideline is, but I do think to keep them like short and sweet is like always best. So I think like at like the 30-second mark, maybe up to a minute, in terms of duration, I think is best in terms of that. And you can easily take a whole bunch of still pictures and turn it into a 30-second, reel, with some like good captions or what have you. So I think that's the other thing. Just really do the what you're most comfortable with, and just go with it. Okay, somebody had asked if I could please 555 rule. So absolutely, not a problem. So the 5 is to like 5 people's posts. And I was saying, when you're doing this, and when to like 5 people's posts, to comment on 5 people's posts, and when you comment, to make it a thoughtful comment, not just like love it, be like, oh, like what a great tip. I'm gonna use this in my kitchen tomorrow. Something a little bit more thoughtful when you're doing your comments. And the last one is to DM people. And when you're doing all of this, I do recommend, to kind of repeat what I said earlier, to try to reach out to people that you normally don't interact with. And if you need a tip as to what I've been finding, what works for me, and this was actually shared with to me by somebody else, is oftentimes I'm going to say, hey, I really love your social media page. I would love to keep in touch better. I'm in the process of updating my business database. Would you mind sharing your email and phone number so we can better stay in touch, and hopefully we can help each other out with our businesses? And it's a pretty like sincere DM, especially if you are reaching out to somebody that you may not know, too well. But that's a great idea to keep in mind. Sorry, I'm just a question that's coming through. Yes, okay. So using these past strategies, how much has my Instagram account grown over the past 2 months? So it's grown about like 400 to 500 followers, but I've got 4 leads from it. And the leads that I've gotten have not been from like internet leads, like they're not from somebody I don't know. It's basically been a way for me just to really stay in front of people. So like within my sphere, so it may not be people who I've been like really close with, but they'd be like, oh my god, you are totally, the feedback that I've been getting is you're totally like rocking it in real estate. My mom wants to sell her house, you've got to go and help her out. And then that's how I got one of my leads. Actually, that's how I got all of my leads, is in so it hasn't been a true internet. It's just been a really good way for me to stay top of mind and present amongst my sphere and the sphere that's growing. So in that short bit, that's what's happening. A question that's come in is, tell a story about the biggest sale that you've gotten from social media organically. Yeah, so I think it's really been, quite honestly, this way. It's just by people reaching out to me, just commenting on, that they've been watching me on social media, and that, they feel as though I've been rocking it in real estate, and to help them out. So one of my listings, just within this past couple, we're going to be listing at 750,000. That's not too bad. And I've got a couple of others. The 2 buyer leads, we're focusing at about 600 to 650 in a purchase price. So not too shabby for for the past couple of months. Awesome. So yeah, someone had answered it, if these were totally new people. They were like friends of friends of friends, type of situation. So yes, new people, but there was a connection, some way, somehow, through social media. So and kind of before moving on to the next slide, I think the other thing to really keep in mind is that your posts don't need to be perfect or pretty. They need to be posted, and people love it. They love raw and organic. They kind of like it when you mess up a little bit and you're not so scripted, you're not so rehearsed. So, keep that in mind to not, kind of take the fear or the edge over like posting, so often. Um, you know, they just want to kind of see you and what you're doing, and we're always not so we're not so like perfect and scripted when it happens. Okay, another question just came through. Do you add everyone you meet to your social, or are you selective? I am a little selective, and I think part of it is just being a female, because sometimes some of the people who are reaching out don't seem so normal. So I do try to just kind of go on their social media and just kind of see what they've been posting to kind of get some sort of general idea, before like reaching out to them, like putting them, into my database. And so, yes, someone's crappy video or post is better than someone else's non-existent one. Yes, absolutely. That's exactly the point. So thank you so much. Yes, yeah. Um, so this next slide is, this just has my contact information. I've been doing this for a long time. So I service Palm Beach County. I know that might seem like a large area, but again, I've just been doing this for a while. Some of the towns that I really kind of do a lot of work in is the Boca Raton, Delray Beach, Wellington, and Jupiter. But if it's in Palm Beach County, most likely have worked in that town at some point and can, definitely help them out. I would love to, work with you guys in any way I can. As I said earlier in the presentation, please reach out to me with anything, with questions about social media, about social media, about real estate in general. I would love referrals. Referrals will always be treated with a white glove experience. I actually make sure I go above and beyond for the referrals to make sure that that they're treated well and that they have a great experience. And I do have my handles at the bottom of the screen there. I'm also trying to slowly get into TikTok as well. We'll see how that goes. But follow me on that. And I've also have launched, I do see a question that just came through, and I will get to that in just a second. I have also launched another blog called Simple and Savvy Home Tips. It's just like a home blog, just simple ways to kind of help elevate your home and your living space. The way that blog kind of started was that for doing real estate for so long, what I found is that oftentimes people don't want to pay money to stage their homes, whether it is in a modest home or whether it is a multi-million-dollar home. Sometimes sellers just don't want to stage their home. And I have found that part of my job kind of started to give them tips to staging advice, to some tips as to how to easily like elevate their home and just showcase their home in the best way possible. So I just very recently started this blog. I thought it might be like, people might have fun kind of reading up on some of these tips and tricks that I'm passing along. So please follow me on Simple and Savvy Home Tips as well. The question that came in is, can you please elaborate on what I'm posting? And are you doing reels often or sticking with stories and posts? Yeah, so to keep with that, 80-20 rule. So when I'm posting things about myself or my lifestyle, I'll do a lot of things about Palm Beach County is actually doing this whole like restaurant thing for the whole month of September, where they have reduced meals, like it's a set menu at a reduced price. And so I just did a post on that. So I do a lot of posts on restaurants. I do a lot of posts on kind of what I'm doing, with my kids. I'm actually kind of going on my Instagram right now just to kind of see some things. I just did something about coffee table books because it's like a super easy way to stage your home, elevate your space, kind of make it look really pretty. I just did a post. I've been working with buyers. So let me just break it up into the two categories. So in terms of the like lifestyle and like personal, so that's a lot of things that we're doing. There's a post about my husband and I. We just went to like the Breakers, which is like a fancy hotel, like a pretty famous hotel here. And I had just did a post on that, and I, the two of us were there. But then like the flower arrangements, like in their hotel, there's like a whole story behind it. They change them out every Thursday. They have like a staff that just deals with their floral arrangements. So I kind of gave like a fun fact about it was about, first it was about me and my husband. We went out, and then it was a fun fact about, a pretty famous and well-known place in Palm Beach County, which was like the Breakers. So I try to do some fun facts about the area as well. And then in terms of business, I just posted something about some buyer tips and some seller tricks, because I've been working with a couple of buyers, and we've been going out quite a bit. And as everyone knows, there's not a lot of inventory in the market. So I just kind of did a real short video about some tips to kind of help buyers kind of get through this stage in the real estate phase. And then also to kind of help sellers as well, to kind of help their homes like stand out a little bit. So I do a lot of that. And then will post some of my for rent and for sale and just close, things like that. I actually also just posted a recipe for Labor Day weekend. I just did a recipe on a fun summer cocktail. I posted that on my feed as well. And I do a comment. Someone had asked me if I do reels or if I do posts. I do both. Sometimes still shots are great, and I'll just do several still shots and kind of talk about them. And then other times, I do a reel, with the music to kind of grab people's attention. So I do a combination of both. Yeah, so another question just came in asking me if my Insta page is personal or business. So my Instagram page is business. When I got it set up like long ago, that was like the recommendation was to set it up as a business page. However, I don't really think if you're just getting started, I probably would recommend just keeping it as a personal page. And if you stick with that 80-20 rule, you should be good in terms of not getting dinged from Instagram in terms of trying to, sell things, on it. But I keep it as a, sorry, there's like a shine coming through. I kind of keep it, mine is set up as a business page. The other reason why the other perk to the business page is that if you did want to do some sort of paid advertisements, then you can easily do it, through your business page. So. Well, I'm not sure if there's any other questions, but we're pretty close to the 30-minute mark. I kind of have some to-dos for them to kind of get them started.
Sounds good.
You let me know what you think.
Here's your to-dos.
All right, awesome. So this is it. Everything that I've kind of just been talking about is what I'm saying. We have a 30-minute breakout session, and this is like what you should be doing. Like right now, post your stories. I'm gonna be taking a picture of this right now, just letting people know that I always kind of you can post something, take a picture of this of you on the computer right now, how you are a focused professional, always trying to take education and to better yourself as a professional. That's a super easy post to make to your stories right now. So do that right now. Then spend some time, do the 5-5-5 rule. You've got some time to do that. And I'm here if you've got any questions in terms of if you need some additional suggestions as to what to comment or what to DM to some people that you're reaching out to. And then please follow me on both Instagram and TikTok, and to please keep an eye on my new blog as well, Simple and Savvy Home Tips.
Very smart. Go follow her, because then you can see what she's doing, stalk her a little bit, and then
yeah, please do.
All right, so if anybody has any other question, you got like 1 minute, and then we're we're going to go ahead and break up and let you guys go ahead and put this into effect. So go do a little bit of this. Also, want to remind you that if you use if you go into Command, you can go into Command and you can post right there. You can schedule a lot of your posts out for up to over a year in advance. So if you have specific posts that you want on there, like it's National Whatever Day, or it's like I think it was National Daughters Day or something like that the other day.
Yep.
So getting those posts put together and having them prepared, because you can see all that stuff well ahead in advance and make that part of your strategy. Throw that out there, and then you can just throw in the extra ones that you're doing, right?
Actually, Ryan, that's actually because people had been asking me about some ideas as to what to post. To keep it seasonal is awesome, you know. And right now we're getting into fall, and I know that we live in Florida, but everything pumpkin related. They were on my stories, but I did a whole thing about Starbucks and did you like pumpkin spice or do you like, you know, apple cinnamon flavored drinks better? And like that got a ton of interactions. You know, yeah, keeping it seasonal, you know, and pertinent as to what's going on, right, you know, is great. And those, and even some like silly things like National Donut Day and National Cookie Day. You'd be surprised how much interaction you will get on those types of, you know, I usually do those types of things in my stories, and I'll usually will make a poll and asking them like what their favorite flavored donut is or favorite cookie, or post a recipe about that. So I usually do that stuff in my stories, but that's a great way to, you know, just for some like content idea and to not keep it so, you know, like grueling, you know, it kind of keeps it fun and light and relevant.
You can make those into little micro events as well. National Cookie Day. Swing them out for a free cookie.
Absolutely. That's a great idea for sure. Yep. Or drop some cookies off at some of your clients, you know, past clients or some, you know, new clients. That's a great thing too, for sure.
All right. So go please implement this. Go find a way to do the 5-5-5 rule. If you wanted to, you can make that into a smart plan. So it gives you a task. So she's telling you 5-5-5. So that means to go and find 5 people. You can even select those 5 people and have it apply to them that you're going to like their post. So find them on social media, like their post, comment on their post, something thoughtful, and then send a DM as well. All right. So make that into a smart plan if you want. If you look up in the smart plans, it's probably already there too. So you don't have to create it from scratch. And then make sure you follow Jess on Insta and TikTok. So go do that now, and we will be back in 30 minutes, and we're going to have on, let's see here, I'm going to get you ready.
Awesome. Thank you.
We're going to have on Tara Carter coming up at 10 o'clock, so be prepared to see Miss Tara Carter. She's going to talk to you about being social and attracting business. So she will be up next. Thanks for sticking around, and we will see you again at 10 o'clock.
Awesome.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming to us again today. We just had Jess, and she was doing an amazing job teaching you about how she used Instagram, and she was able to add 4 new deals in a very short amount of time. Now we have the honor of having somebody who's a productivity coach. She's also a luxury agent and a pretty darn good teacher at that. So we're gonna have her come on. That's Tara Carter. I'm gonna introduce her. Tara, welcome. How are you doing?
Hi, I am Flamazing. How are you?
Doing well. Did you see that thing on the news about all the flamingos migrating from the south to the north a little bit?
I did. It's that time of year.
Yep. All right. So I'm going to let you do what you do because you're very good at it. So you sent me a slideshow.
Yeah, it's coming. It's on the way.
Okay.
You have an Android over there. It's fun.
All right. So just tell us a little bit about yourself then.
Awesome. So my name is Tara. I am a third generation realtor. I've been in the business for almost a decade. That's kind of crazy. My family, as we've been a number one, number two, a top three in our market center for the last 8 years. I am previously the KWYP president, now your Keller Williams Young Professionals regional ambassador for our region, and also a productivity coach, although I'm an agent first, and I do excel in luxury expireds, especially in social media.
Awesome. You are going to talk to us today about being social and attracting business.
Yep, absolutely. And so with that, we're really going to make sure to cover as well, like how do we utilize social media to better enhance our business. And one of the first things that I just want to make sure that we have an understanding about is that there's a difference between, there's so many different apps, right? You have TikTok, you have YouTube, you have Facebook, you have Instagram, you have LinkedIn, and there have been agents that have grown massive businesses off of each of those platforms. So before we get, I don't like to use the O word, overwhelmed, because it's a negative. So before you get fascinated about like, how am I supposed to keep up with being social, having to not be a secret agent, and then being social on all these platforms, just start with one and then master it. And then you can move on to another if you choose to, or leverage out that piece. You know, LinkedIn is not a source of my business because I'm not heavy on LinkedIn, and it's not one of my top 3 platforms. You know, I feel like I really mastered Facebook in the beginning, and then I definitely prefer Instagram more. And I'm switching and learning YouTube at the moment. I personally banned myself from TikTok about a year ago. I don't know about you, but when I get on there, like 3 hours went by and I got nothing accomplished. So I'm in time out, and it's been a year and I don't want to go back yet, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So for you, Ryan, what platform do you use the most?
I'd probably say none of them.
Okay.
If I do get on, I usually go to Instagram just because I can post from Instagram to Facebook as well.
Absolutely. So, you know, Instagram is really a platform that is great for, you know, pictures. Like, how do you stop the scroll? And that's really what the ultimate objective is how do we stop the scroll? And one thing I really want to make sure you guys hear is there's a difference between online presence versus a presence online. Like, are you just present online? Are you the one that is just really quiet, is not very social, just is scared about what to post, overthinks it? Because there's a difference. And if you go back to 15 years ago, or say, in order to have been the most present in your market area, would have been, you know, billboards and bus benches and magazine covers and all of that. Now it's like our newspapers and whatnot, and how to really dominate and be more present in your market. It's to be social on social media. I mean, it's called social media, and that's such a concept, right? So everyone is present online. Like, you have a login, you're present online, but very few have a presence. So it's important to, if you're looking to really grow your social side, as well as even if you're not even an extrovert, you know, let's say you're an ambivert or you're an introvert. I'm actually an ambivert, meaning, and once I use all my extrovertness, I got to go back and recharge for a little bit. So understand the difference between that online presence versus just being present online is really important. And when I said that, you know, you have sometimes a digital twin. I truly believe that I have higher success with social media because I am so vulnerable. Meaning, and vulnerability is sexy, whether you're male or female. Like, people want to know that they know you, like you, and trust you in order to do business with you. So what type of message do you share through social media? Are you friendly? Are you approachable? Do you just always share real estate facts? And is there really any context to your social media posts that you're putting out there? Like, is there really anything of substance? Is there an action item for a reason that they're going to want to contact you? And if you are somebody who just posts about real estate all day long, I can promise you, you're not going to have a huge return on your business. I believe in the 80-20 rule. Write it down. 80-20 rule. 80% personal, 20% business. Make sure that we are incorporating both sides of that, because if you're not, you're going to get lost. And one more tidbit that I'm going to get some objections about. And if you had any objections about it, please feel free to contact me because I promise you I will win. If you have two separate social media accounts on Instagram for your personal self and your real estate self, you're doing yourself a disservice. I'm so sorry that you wasted time and effort in order to get your Instagram real estate, like Tara Carter Realtor page up. You're wasting your time. Again, people are going to do business with you because they know you, they like you, and they trust you. Having that presence online is super important because essentially what could happen is it's like having a digital twin, right? And especially on Facebook too. So you have a digital relationship is 100 times more powerful than a real relationship in the same period of time. Let me break that down for you. One, did you friend your clients yet? If you didn't, make that a note as one of your action items that you're going to go make sure to go back and do. So a digital relationship is 100 times more powerful than a real relationship in the same period of time. What do I mean by that? Well, let's say that we go to Starbucks and you're standing in line at Starbucks and somebody, I know Ryan. Ryan's in the line at Starbucks and he's in Fort Lauderdale, not on the West Coast. He's on the East Coast with me in Fort Lauderdale. And he introduces me to Susie and he says, "Oh, Tara, you've got to meet Susie. Susie is an interior designer. She lives locally in the area and she's looking to possibly move soon and not rent." "Oh, well, it's so nice to meet you. Let me exchange information, business cards, contact cards, whatever that may be." And then I go about my merry way. And maybe I obviously, not maybe, I used command to put in the contact. And then I also put in that the relationship came from Ryan. Well, what if we were to actually utilize the social media that we have and you realize that we have that digital relationship that's more powerful? And what if when Ryan introduced me to Susie, who's the interior designer, as soon as I got in my car, the first thing that I did before going to command to input her information was actually utilizing social media. I went on Ryan's friend list because I would assume that Ryan would be friends with her. Would be friends with her. And because of that, I was able to go back and say, okay, well, where's Susie? And then I could befriend Susie. And then maybe I could see Susie just saw that the Dolphins won and Susie happens to be a Dolphins fan too. I get to connect with Susie on a little bit more. I could see that her kids went to this school. She's has this sort of a background. She went to this event recently. I am able to learn so much more about Susie and build a quality relationship utilizing our smart plans that are on command and able to build that relationship. Ryan's going to love this one. You ready? So utilizing let's say we go to a networking event, right? We're being social. Going to a networking event, ideally, I would prefer that you go on social media, preferably Facebook, and you go look for networking events that are in your area. And look, they don't have to be like the Chamber of Commerce. They don't have to be, listen, if you're a nerd, I love nerds, by the way. If you're a nerd and there's a networking event on how to play board games, okay, well, go to that one because you're going to want to do people with people that you like, right? I love the thing about this business is we get to choose who we want to work with. We get to choose. And if I don't want to work with you, I don't have to. So let's go to this networking event that you found on Facebook. And first, before you go, pick the one that essentially you may have common friends with that are also going to that networking event. Because now you're not going to the networking event not knowing anyone. And if you have quality intentions going to that event, and let's say that you're still brushing up your social skills or going to that sounds so painful. Well, honestly, if you don't like people, you probably shouldn't be in real estate. Let's be honest. So if you go to that networking event, now you're not going alone because you knew somebody that was on your friends list, and you can go to this networking event and you can utilize first making sure you make 3 quality contacts, whatever your goal is. Go in with intentions. 3 quality contacts, and then I'm out. And if you made those 3 quality contacts within the first 15 minutes, awesome. You can then decide to go home or you can then decide to network. Don't be the agent that just stays and drinks the whole time. So be careful with that. I'm going to give you a system that you can utilize and actually use Command, because we have systems that we need to use to make work for us. Use Command to help you plug in the system as well. What is it called? Is the 4 in 3. 4 in 3. So a 4 in 3 follow-up system. This is 4 things that matter in the first 3 days that you met John, Mike, and Steve at the networking event that you are going to follow up with. The 4 things in the 3 days, because you're going to go back and put them in Command and you're going to make the system work for you. Here's your SMART plan. First, you're going to text before you leave the parking lot. Before you leave the parking lot. And you're going to befriend them on social media. Telling them, it was so nice to meet you. It was so nice to connect with you and learn about you and your interior decorating business. And I look forward to doing business and grabbing coffee soon. Next will be a handwritten note. So you'll have a prompt you to do a handwritten note when you get back to your desk, whether it's tomorrow, in 2 days, whatever that looks like. Personally, for me, I write handwritten notes on Friday. I bulk them all together because the daily thing doesn't work for me. The third touch would be you're going to email them. Coffee, lunch, date, because the handwritten note followed up on the same exact thing. It was so nice to connect with you and learn more about this and that and your interior business. And I look forward to grabbing coffee soon. Then you're going to email them and you're going to say the same thing. And then also the 4th touch is going to be a voicemail. Again, these are 4 touches in 3 weeks. That's why it's called 4 in 3. Kind of like your 8x8, then it's not. So the last one would be a voicemail reaffirming how nice it was to meet them. And I would love to catch up. Here's my calendar. When would be a good time for us? And I don't know about you, but I said I'm an ambivert. So instead of actually calling them and then picking up, use Sly Dial or Sly Broadcast, which is another app, to be able to just drop a voicemail in their voicemail so their phone doesn't ring. Because I know some of y'all have gotten that before, where you get a voicemail and you're like, that's funny. My phone didn't ring. Well, that's because they're using Sly Dial or Sly Broadcast. So that is your 4 in 3 smart plan that you can utilize in Command that will help you stay social and connected especially when you're going to these social events. Ryan, I would love to know if that is helpful for you, and we can create a smart plan around that.
It's very helpful. Very helpful.
And how easy is that? Like, let's think about that. How easy is that to set up on Command to set up that a 4 in 3 week smart plan?
Very simple. I mean, I just told them before that they could do the 5-5-5 in a simple smart plan. It's really that simple as put some tasks and put some text messages in there, however they want to do it. It's whatever works for you, right?
Yeah, I think we get so overcomplicated about, well, that's not what the other person did, or well, this person did this thing, and that worked really well, and then we reinvent the wheel. You do not have the right to be creative until you are consistent.
That's my favorite thing you just said.
Yes, you don't. Until you're consistent with something, you don't have the right to be creative. Like, this business is not rocket science. I promise you, it's not. It's about it's the people business. It's not about the paperwork. It's about the people work. So to be creative is awesome. Like, my brand is a flamingo. I sell houses off of my brand. I live and breathe my brand. It is flamazing. And I would love to flamingo with you. And it's fun, right? And until I remember in the beginning, I was like, well, I'm just going to do it this way because this is what I think works. And this is what I saw on social media that people did. Instead of utilizing the tools that we have, like MREA, like all the playbooks. I mean, there's a social media playbook, by the way, y'all. Like, there's a whole playbook on how to be social through social media, or the seminars and whatnot. So is there any other system that I can think of that we have at our fingertips besides really mastering Command? There's
lots of different systems, but they do it for a lot more money, and it's not effective is using command. You can do it all in one place. You don't have to log into multiple places. You just go to one place and you can do it right there. You have smart plans. You also can go in there and make all your Instagram posts, your Facebook posts right from command, and you can schedule them.
It's wild to see kind of where our social media has taken us, and then like where command's been, because and the system only works as much as you use it. So where command is at today is incredible. And I'm so grateful for you, Ryan, too, because without you and you being able to pour down to our MCTTs, I don't know where we would be.
Well, thank you. And there's a lot more coming, because you guys, ideas.kiva.com is where we get them from. And it doesn't come from me, it comes from you guys. So when you guys go to ideas.kiva.com and put these things in that you want, Gary Keller actually spends 15 minutes every Monday looking through those ideas and helping with the team prioritize what they're going to build next. You guys got a lot of cool stuff getting ready to come.
That is awesome. That's really exciting. There's going to be 2 more things that I'm going to cover to make sure that I give you guys as much content as possible. And if you want me to speak in your market centers, you just need to reach out to me. And I'm on Instagram at Miss Tara Carter, MS, because I am not married yet. So Miss Tara Carter, and I would love to connect with you. Let's go back to Facebook, because I talked about Instagram, you not having 2 different pages, realtor. And I hope some of you are relieved, because you've been exhausted having to manage like all your real estate page and your personal page, right? So Facebook, you do have to have a Facebook business page, your professional page, and besides your personal page, because your Facebook business page as your professional page is used for brand awareness and demographically targeting your audience. This is where you boost your awareness with value add, or with boosting a post with the information for the open house you have coming up, or maybe that buyer or seller seminar. You want to get more link clicks, or you want to get more comments or shares. You are not going to have a successful business page unless you are paying for the content behind it. Please understand that. So we do, just to also look very social and active on our social media business page, we do pay for a service that posts for us automatically once a day, right? You could also spend the time and you could create all those graphics through command. And then you could also, let's say you could schedule the post to go out. So you can sit down on your couch while you're watching Netflix, and you can make all those graphics at once and utilize the sources that we have. And then you can just schedule for those posts to come out. Use all those social media posts and whatnot. There's so many of them, right? But if you want to target and grow likes and clicks and get more awareness, you're only doing this through your professional page on social media. I hope that was helpful. Last thing is, we have our DTD2 system, right? So do the database too. And that's 2 letters of the week for each week, and then also texting 1 letter. When we have that system, one of the things that I highly suggest is we have to also have that tag in command. So for example, I'm going to have, if it's Ryan in command, it's DTD2-R. He's under Ryan, right? And then anybody else, it's the easiest thing to do. You can bulk tag, which is a video you guys can find through one of our command videos. You can bulk tag groups through command, and you can pull up all of your A's, and then they all get tagged as DDD2-A. So utilizing the bulk tags, I never thought about this, and I thought everybody was doing this, because DTD2 I learned about 7 years ago at a mega camp, Never Ending Referrals breakout session. And I went into my social media and I created the list for DTD2. So for example, I have anybody, and if you sent me a friend request and I haven't gotten it yet, this is why. Anybody that I'm friends with on social media, before I add them as a friend, I make sure they go into a list. So if your name is Rachel or Ryan, you're going to be in DDD2 under R. If you're, I know it's supposed to go by last name, by the way. I just chose not to do that. So that's a thing. So before I get any corrections on that,
my last name, I get it. I understand.
Yeah. So I like the first name. I don't know why. I think that I just resonate better with first names. So it just worked for me. And then, so besides creating the list for DDD2 on Facebook, I have other lists, like out of state realtor, like KWIP, Glover University, business to business, meaning I've done business with them. Past clients have their own list. I'm also a certified trainer for 7 levels of communication. And so I have my own organization through them. And so I have anybody that I've met or coached through 7 levels of communication. And then my coaching clients, I have them in there as well. I even have tags for cat lovers and dog lovers. You can only create a list on Facebook through your desktop one time. You can put anybody in a list from your phone, but you have to create the list one time on your desktop. Creating a list allows me to then pull up. Let's say that today, this week, I know that I think we're on P&L this week. I just got back from vacation. So P&L, let's say we're on the 2 letters of the alphabet this week, P&L. I can pull up my list of P's that are in the group on Facebook. And so today, if this week I want to focus on the P's, I can pull up my list on Facebook and it will show it almost as a group. And I can only see the news feed and interact with everybody who's with the letter P that day or that week, right? What's great about it is when I post something, instead of it going to the masses of everybody, it's now essentially only going to be going to the people that I posted to that are in that list. This is like cheating the algorithm of a system, which I'm going to give you one more cheat to wrap it up at the end. And this is like cheating the algorithm. This is working smarter, not harder. Now, is it a pain to go back through your Facebook list and create these lists and put everybody in it? Absolutely. Just chunk it down. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So just chunk it down. It'll be super easy for you. And utilize the list, meaning if you have girls' night out and you want to host a girls' night out, and obviously it could turn into a client event, put everybody in the girls' night out list. And then let's say that when it was National Dog Day, or I usually do an event pre-COVID for puppies and for them to get adopted at my birthday party. So I go to the dog lovers, right? Or let's say maybe I want to give a giveaway that week. I could actually post in the dog lovers group that I have. Now understand, nobody knows that they are in that list. Only you know. It's not like being in a private group. It is only in that list. Hope that makes it easy for you. So just to kind of wrap that up before I give you the last little tidbit, first it was you must pick one platform to be social with, and then 2 to 3, and have an audience that you are growing daily. Like, don't be a secret agent. Make sure that you are really befriending your clients, your vendors, your business relationships, the people that you want to do business with, because again, this business is about being social, and give people valuable, relevant content, and be you. Don't just be present online, have an online presence. And remember the 80-20 rule, right? And if you must talk about real estate, you do it in a way that is heartfelt. Like, be human. It doesn't have to be perfect. The fact that you're even putting yourself out there, the fact that you are even interested in being social, like, just be you and mess up. The only way you're going to be successful at this is when you fail continuously. Right, Ryan?
Absolutely. And you have a question here from Brett Ellis. He's asking if these are friends in Facebook or contacts in your phone.
Friends in Facebook. So all my friends in Facebook are on list on Facebook that I created. And it just makes it easier to interact with them. And again, now instead of just a regular news feed, my news feed in Facebook, if I go to that list, it shows anybody that I put in that list. So again, it's like cheating the system.
These lists are very, very important. You can use them for your vendors. You can use them for DTT2. You can use them for whatever you want to. Everything she's saying is pretty much amazing. And I'm sitting over here like cheerleading for you behind the scenes, but make sure that when you're setting these in command, you got to get your contacts in there first. Get them right in there from your mobile app. The mobile app's the easiest way to get them in there, because you can put the mobile app on there. You can just do a clean import of all your contacts from your phone. Don't worry about if your phone's messy. You can clean that up in command. Once you've got it in command, go through your contacts, clean them. go through and make sure they've got an email address, a phone number. It's not Joe the plumber, but it's Joe and his last name. Find out who he is and fix that. Get the health score up as close to 100% as you can, and then put them on smart plans no matter what. Just put them on if you have their home address, you can put them on a neighborhood nurture. You can go ahead and put them on a 8x8. You can put them on a monthly call plan, a quarterly call plan, whatever you need to put them on. But get them to a 36 touch, and then you should be getting some people raising their hands saying that they're interested in something. At that point, the minute they say they're interested in buying, selling, or investing in real estate, put them on an opportunity. Those opportunities are there because, Tara, have you ever gone on social media and seen somebody just bought a house and you had talked to them before and completely forgot about them?
Yep.
Happens quite often, too often, unfortunately. If we put them into our pipeline, at least we have something there to help remind us that person rose their hand at some point and said they're interested. So put them in the opportunity as soon as possible and start working them.
Well, you'll love this one, Ryan. 2 weeks ago, I got a call. So this was I sold a expired listing about 5 years ago, and it came from a referral agent that is local, right? It was a local house I sold. He just doesn't go to suburbia. And they moved out east to the other agent's listing. And I only, because I usually do multiple follow-ups. If you're my past client, 36 touch, ours is like 42, I believe. However, for this client, the only thing that we had automated through command was the happy birthday campaign for the husband and the wife. So that triggers a text that they get personally for happy birthday. And it also triggers a handwritten note that gets sent to them with a Starbucks gift card, right? So for 5 years, that was the only touch that was made because they were not my clients. They were orphan clients, essentially. Well, guess who just signed a $6 million listing? And it was a come list me, because they said that they had another listing agreement they were getting ready to sign. And they said, you know what? We're calling you because we love that you always remembered our birthday. You never forgot our birthday, and you were always so honest with us. And we wanted to know if you can come over and potentially list our house. And I left that listing appointment with a $6 million listing, and it cost me $10 every year for 5 years. And the system did it for me.
That's awesome.
Not too shabby, huh?
Not too shabby at all. There was actually, I wanted to give you guys something. I was trying to see if I could find it really quick. I'll put it in the chat here a little bit. But there is a service that you can get that does send out the cards for you, the handwritten cards. But the difference,
AM cards.
AM cards is good. This one gives you a barcode that you can put in. I actually heard about it from Justin Himmelbaum. He does it. Puts a QR code in there. When you send it out, they scan the QR code and claim their gift card on their phone. And the nice part about that is you're not sending out a $15 gift card, $25 gift card, and wasting the money, because most of them don't use it.
Yeah.
Good way to do it, but I'll get that for that. So we have a question here. If you can share how you create a Facebook list again, or send us the info. So Facebook list.
So go to Facebook help section and just type in create list, and on your desktop. You cannot do this on a phone. You have to do this on a desktop. And then you're going to create the list, and it's essentially this. It'll just be like, oh, what list do you want to have? Because Facebook already probably has lists for you right now, like whatever high school you went to or whatever city you live in. Like they've automatically put people in a list. You just want to create a custom list. So sometimes Facebook on the desktop will, usually it used to be under friends. And then if you go to somebody's name on Facebook and you click the three dots, you can hit edit friends list. And from there, you can put people into different tags on their friends list. And if you have any questions, again, just reach out to me, Instagram or text message, and then I can kind of screenshot or do a video share for you on how to do that. Because once you do it on your desktop, once you're good. And time's sake, I promised you guys one more little trick. Before you guys go to post, stick to a 5-5-5 rule. 5 likes on different people's posts, 5 comments with more than 3 words, and 5 direct messages and or interactions with stories, and then post. And make sure you're being useful about who you're targeting when you're doing that, okay?
Awesome. All right, so Tara, we're about to send everybody back to their market centers and have them work with their market center tech trainers. Hopefully you guys are in your market centers, working with your market center tech trainers so they can help you implement some of this stuff. what's a couple things that they should go and implement in this next 30 minutes before we do our next call?
Well, you can do the 555 right away. That's
There you go.
pretty easy before you go to post, and don't overthink it. You can post that you're utilizing the great services that we have, the great system. Like nobody has a technology like we do. The second thing is look to see how you guys can create those Facebook lists, and look for a networking event through Facebook that it interests you and also involves others on your Facebook list, so you're not going alone too. And then put yourself out there and be social.
One thing that I've learned from talking to you is you do a very good job of branding yourself. Where have you gotten a lot of this branding? Is there a book that you've read or something that you might suggest to them to go read?
A branding book? No.
Or
Not.
where have you come up with these strategies for branding?
They're just kind of ingrained. It's just natural. I ran nightclubs and restaurants for 10 years, and they were high end, and I was the marketing and VIP director. So I threw all the parties, and my brain just works that way. And before that, I was a preschool teacher. So it's kind of like, it's just ingrained. And then I would study how other people, like how was I attracted to somebody else, and then created mood boards. And I do this for others. So on my Instagram, there's a link to my calendar and my bio, and you can book just like a session. I love branding, marketing sessions to sit down and brainstorm. I'll have you create like a Pinterest board, and we'll go through it. I've helped so many. I helped a real estate agent create a brand off of tacos. She's like, I just love tacos. Is that weird? And she is crushing it. Like, let's talk about real estate. Like, she's literally selling houses now for her taco brand. And it's been pretty cool to watch over the years. So it just depends. This is just how I operate. I don't know. I can't really have any recommendations. So just book a session with me and I'm more than happy. And that's not something I charge from, because you guys are KW and you guys are family. So I got you.
Awesome. I'll give you a couple real quick. The ones that I've looked at. One of them is The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. I love that book. I think it's a really, really good book. It talks about the psychology of why you like certain things, or why certain brands advertise the way they do. It gets really into the psyche and also the feelings of it, because most of the time we choose to like things because of the way it makes us feel. One of the things in there, it talks about toothpaste. Why would you choose certain toothpaste?
I love that.
Pretty interesting. Like, people, if you think about it, I don't know, I'm not going to go back how far the book says, but it says pretty far back within probably our grandparents' age range, that toothpaste wasn't as science like it is nowadays, where it's got all these different flavors and mints and feelings when you put it in your mouth. It used to just be like a paste that you just threw in your mouth, and it was causing diseases. So they used the toothpaste in the military, to try and get the people in the military to have better health. But most people wouldn't use it otherwise, so they had to put a flavor in it, and they had to also make it tingle to have a sensation for them. But the book's full of different stories, so it's an easy read. There's also Thank You Economy. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a great one.
But use this stuff in your social media when you get it, because it really makes you think about what you're doing. You're doing a great job of using the flamingo as part of who you are, as part of your brand. So what is your guys' brand? When you're going back and thinking about all this that Tara's just told you, think about what your brand is and what you want to put out there, and just stick to it.
I mean, we could have a whole other class on that one. My brand was pink. I just like the color pink. It's bright. It's me. My nails are always flamingo pink. My business cards were pink. My dresses were pink. I just wore pink, and I stuck with it for 6 months. And then I hosted an event, and somebody said, are you wearing, you must be Tara. And I said, how did you know that? And they said, you're wearing pink. And I was like, oh, it's working. So then I said, well, what's pink? And my friend said flamingos. And I said, absolutely not. They are the lottery symbol, and they're the plastic things outside the trailer homes. Like, I'm not doing that. So then I looked up the meaning of flamingos, and flamingos symbolize elegance and beauty. And flamingos are the bird that is the most social, family oriented, and the bird that lives its longest in the category of birds. And I looked at my family and I said, we're about to be one big flock, and we're going to flamingo together, and we are going to be flamazing, and we're going to rebrand everything. And it's been about 6 years consistent branding, and it's been incredible.
That's awesome. Do you know what a flock of flamingos is called?
a fla. We just talked about this yesterday. I was on it in the Bahamas.
Flamboyance.
Flamboyant. I was to say flamboyant, and I was like, wait, that doesn't make sense.
No, it's flamboyance is what a flock of flamingos is called.
Love it.
We're gonna leave you on that. So please, if you're on this call, you don't have to jump off. You can stay on here. We'll play some music in the background. But what I want you guys to do is to go back and implement some of the stuff that Tara just has taught you. We're gonna be coming back up here shortly with our next speaker, who you definitely do not want to miss, and that's going to be Natalie Pendar. She's going to talk to you about leveraging social media while using AI. So that's not something you want to miss. Come back at 11, and we're going to have that. And I'm going to play some music in the background while you guys go implement some of what Tara gave you. See you at 11.
Have an amazing day.
everybody, I hope you've enjoyed our session so far. We've been blessed to have two amazing speakers. We had Jess and then we had Tara come on and speak to us about social media and how they implement it into their business. We're now going to be going in and meeting one of my favorite people in the world, Miss Natalie Pindar, and she's going to talk to us about AI. Before we jump into that, though, I want to point out something. I've had something pop up on the screen. We've been showing you a little about this month's Take Command, which is all about social media. And as Tara alluded to, these are playbooks, and I put the playbook into the chat for social media. We have been doing the playbooks each month as part of our theme. So next month we are going to be doing seminars. Seminars are a great way to lead generate, and unfortunately I'm finding that not a lot of people are actually using these, and these are a very powerful tool in lead generation. So if you do have somebody in your market center, or you are somebody who does seminars and you be wanting to talk to us about this, please contact me. My email address is southfloridartt@kw.com. So again, that's southfloridartt@kw.com. I'd love to hear from you and talk to you and potentially feature you on next month's Take Command. This month, though, we are talking social media, and we do have Natalie Pindar, who I'm going to bring on here, and she uses AI to help her with a lot of this stuff, and she's going to teach you about it. So I'm going to hand her over.
I teach seminars too.
Seminars too. Awesome. Well, we'll have to talk about that. But for this, I'm going to get out of your way and let you go ahead and run the show.
How do I do my slides? They're on here.
I'll pull them up and I'll take care of them for you.
Oh, okay, perfect. Hey guys, thank you so much. So we're going to talk about using ChatGPT for social media marketing. Okay, good. So my name is Natalie Pindar. I am with the Keller Williams Realty office in Clearwater, Florida. Well, Palm Harbor, Clearwater, Florida. My company is Radnet Media, and I help real estate agents, teams, usually teams, mortgage, anyone in this field, or I work with all kinds of businesses, but I definitely got my start with real estate industry, social media, content creation, content strategy, and I use ChatGPT for everything. It's actually a part of everything that I do. So this is where you will find me online at Natalie Clearwater Creator, and my phone number if you want to save that or take a picture. We are going to get into how I use ChatGPT, what it is, and why it's so incredible. This is the website. If you don't already have an account, I highly suggest that you need to use a desktop computer. So if you have like I think a Chromebook or a tablet or on your phone, I think there is a way to use it on there. I'm not sure how updated it is, but I use it on the desktop, and this is how you would find it. So it's free to sign up if you haven't already. ChatGPT, briefly, is artificial intelligence developed by OpenAI. So OpenAI is the company that is having their APIs used. They are integrating with other websites. So usually if you see something that says AI, this is where it's pulling it from. So it produces human-like text by understanding and generating language in a conversational manner. So language is important. It is all about how do you want it to sound professional? Do you want it to sound friendly, excitable, exciting? What is it that the language that you wanted to use? So imagine a digital buddy who you can chat with and who can write and assist you. A lot of people ask me, well, isn't it just like Google? I can see how you can make that comparison, but ChatGPT is conversational. So like I said, human-like text, where Google is a search engine. So when you search something on Google, you're going to see sponsorships at the top, and then you'll start seeing clips from other websites where you can go and read the information. Those are blogs generated on Google by search engine optimization. So keywords and different things that they do to push their information onto Google. That's what you're finding. ChatGPT is when you ask it a question, it actually gives you the answer. It's using data pre-January 2022. So anything brand new is going to be difficult to talk to it about. But anything before January of 2022, it's going to already have that stored information. They're making that date closer to us in our present time all the time. So ChatGPT and real estate is a perfect match for me. I think so. Training. You want to train ChatGPT for precision. So ChatGPT stands out as a robust tool that can provide content instantly, whether you're talking about product descriptions, market analysis, neighborhood amenities, Facebook ad copy. It will write your entire ad copy with you. Social media captions, which is what I primarily use it for, or even if you need ideas, if you're brainstorming, like, what do I write about? A lot of the questions that you guys have been asking this morning to the other presenters are questions that you can easily ask ChatGPT and just ask it for ideas. What ideas do you have about things about that I can write about? So we're going to get into more detail. This is just the overview of what I'm going to talk about. How does it work? So it starts with a chat. So when you open it, it gives you a screen and you can type into the bottom. And what we're calling what you type in is a prompt. So if you ever hear anybody talking or selling or making video about prompts, that's what your chat is in ChatGPT. So these are just some examples. If you want to take a picture of the screen that is in your room, describe a 3-bedroom house with a sea view. It's very general when you do that. I'm pretty sure if you've been on here, you've already used prompts like this. I'm going to get a little bit more specific and show you what I do that makes a huge difference. And that starts with training it. So if I'm ahead of you, I'm really sorry. Get into it a little fast. But this is the difference. So if you're talking to somebody about this AI, they'll be like, oh yeah, I use that. I think that's wonderful. However, if they are not training that thread, if you're not training that chat, then it can be a little wonky. It can give you some different information. Training it is like onboarding a new team member. I know it sounds a little freaky to think about it that way, but if you could think about it as a literal assistant to you, then you can actually have the mindset going in and training it like you would do anyone, a virtual assistant, an in-person assistant, an executive assistant. You could train it as your, Fortune 500 marketing firm who helps other people sell hundreds of thousands of dollars in real estate or millions of dollars. So if you think about it as being an assistant, somebody you're onboarding onto your team, then you're more likely to have a better outcome in training it. So because we want to tailor the content that it gives us to all of our needs. And it's not that hard. I'm going to show you. Let's see. Oh, I'm off the screen. Slide 10. By feeding ChatGPT snippets or entire sections from existing material, like the website that you already have, a brochure that you made, previous listings that you have closed or just taken, you can ensure that it aligns with your brand's voice and message. If you have Keller Williams, if you're a new agent and you want to use Keller Williams value proposition, our mission statement, our goals, everything that we have as Keller Williams on our websites, you can just use that as your brand before you even have one. So you don't really need to have anything specific if you go in like this. I'm so glad this is helpful. Thank you for the interaction. So if you do have a brand, I have built websites for some big teams around town. I have built their brand on social media. I do all of this work for the people that I work with. And they all have very specific things. Like some people are senior specialists and they usually work with and have referrals from people who are 55 and older. The team calls them their last sale, right? They work with the family. This is their marketing. This is what their bread and butter is. Some people love first-time home buyers. This is all that they market to. So that's like what they're putting into ChatGPT to make sure that it's speaking to that target market. You can even design your target market inside of this AI. An example, this is a great prompt. We're going to get a little bit more into it. This is the most simple prompt that I can give you if you want to take a picture of this above anything else. So let's say you have a new listing. This is a listing description I've used paste in your entire listing description that the MLS has approved, that your seller has signed off on. Can you provide suggestions for promoting it on social media? That's the prompt. So you're giving it the instruction, you're telling it what it is that you're giving it, and it's going to combine everything for you. ChatGPT and social media captions. So we were talking about in the last slide ideas. In this slide, we're going to talk about how to make a perfect caption. All captions, so let's talk about what captions are. You have your video, you have your photo, and you want to post it, and then you have something that you can write under it. This is where you would put your hashtags, where you would ask your questions. And we've talked about earlier today about what stop the scroll is. Well, that would be your hook. So that's usually text on your screen or something big, the first line of your caption, that's going to help you stop people to watch what you have. So you could have a prompt to have it make you a hook. Every video, I believe, should have a hook, either on the screen or in the caption. A call to action, something equally as important. You can follow the rule of every 3 to 4 videos or posts, you put a call to action, or you can be like some people and put a call to action in every single thing that you post. This is like and follow for more information, subscribe to our email newsletter, swipe to see, swipe up to read this column or this blog, things like that is a call to action. I like to use it for every single one. Just put your phone number on there, call us for more information about. ChatGPT will help you create that caption based on the post that it's making for you. An engagement booster. So it could also help you. These are all sample prompts. It can also help you with an engagement booster in what you want people to do. Do you want them to comment, message you, follow you, answer a question? Maybe you're talking about living rooms. And hashtags. So a quick tip about hashtags, my hair's like so on my face. So a quick tip about hashtags is that they used to be specialized and interesting. Today, they're mostly used on Instagram, Facebook, and especially TikTok for SEO optimization. So people will go on TikTok. I've recently done this myself. I couldn't find on Google and YouTube a video of what the Disney Wish cruise ship 5-bedroom sleeper looks like. I've been on another one a long time ago, and I'm like, what is 5? Like, where is the bed? Does it pull down? Is it under the, I couldn't figure it out. Google and YouTube, nothing. They don't show it like down. They just show them when they arrive. I go on TikTok and I type it in, and it's hashtagged enough for me to find those videos. So if you're making video and you ask ChatGPT for SEO hashtags, you can have up to 30, I believe. I use anywhere between 10 to 20. It's like a sweet spot for me. It will actually give you those hashtags that you should be using. So these are the prompts that you could use for these different pieces. This is the answer that it gave me. So it's a little small on my screen. Dreaming of ocean waves as your morning alarm. Look no further. It even gives you a little emoji. So these are that you can use inside of your captions for social media. If you want to put it all together, here's a prompt using all of that to combine it. So something else that you guys can take a picture of if you want. Can you provide me with a complete caption for a beachfront property post? I need a catchy hook, a compelling value proposition. That's a choice if you want something like that. A CTA, which is your call to action for viewers to swipe through property photos. So you could just ask it for a general CTA. This one's a little bit more specific. An engaging question to boost interactions and some trending hashtags. So this actually gives you the whole post when you ask the question like this. I think asking specific questions of ChatGPT is important because it's allowing you to make the brand. It's allowing you to dictate better what the outcome is. Paradise Alert. Dive into the ultimate coastal living experience with this exquisite beachfront haven. Every sunrise feels like a personal performance, and the gentle ocean breeze simply unmatched. Swipe to discover why this home is a tropical dream come true. Dream home criteria: What's one must-have feature for your beachfront property? Comment below. This is an engaging caption. You're getting somebody to do one of those things if they're stopping to see what the paradise alert is. If you have a compelling photo, like even these pictures in this slide, if you're talking about like a green living room or plant life or something like that on the property, and you have this hook that draws you to the picture, ChatGPT can make that all so simple for you. You don't have to sit here anymore and think, okay, I want to talk about this view, waterfront. I've been there and I'm like, okay, water view, waterfront. I'm Googling other names. Like I'm on thesaurus.com. No more. You put your whole thing in there. You can even say something like, I really want to talk about and stress this property's waterfront view. I believe it is absolutely gorgeous. We know it's one of the few that you will find in this subdivision. Can you please help me with a caption about this? So you can even have it answer questions like that you have personally that you're struggling with, or just put in a prompt like this and see what comes out. Maybe it'll be shocking. ChatGPT and lead funnels. So let's go back here for a second. This post creates for you call to actions. So you have engagement on the post and engagement offline. Does anybody remember the Facebook shutdown of 2021? 2021 Facebook shut down for a day and I had to go to Twitter and I didn't know what to do with myself. I don't even like to think about it because, oh my gosh, all my people were on Facebook and I didn't have some phone numbers. All I did was message them. I'm like messaging them. That's great. That's wonderful. Every day I'm messaging people, but Facebook is shut down. How am I going to get in touch with anybody? I couldn't invite anybody to an event. I didn't have anybody's address. So I focus on personally call to actions where I can get people from social media onto my website and into lead funnels, what we call smart plans with Keller Williams inside of Command. So this is what I specifically love about using call to actions and creating captions, because we can take people from social media into lead funnels. If you're ever online and you hear somebody advertising a lead funnel, they're talking about smart plans. We just have a different word for it because we're special like that. So call to actions are a bridge between I call it the bridge, right? Between the caption and where you want them to go. So you can drive traffic to a landing page. I think right now we have the ability to create special landing pages on our Command website. So you can create a call to action for that. It can boost conversions on your website, or if you're looking to run an ad, and it will help you build an email list. So subscribe to our email list for more information like this. A simple prompt, when you really put yourself into that mindset of what prompt can I give ChatGPT is, I want to use these posts for building my email list and my newsletter following. How can I do that? Just ask it the question. My husband and I use ChatGPT a lot for various different real estate businesses and other businesses like my social media company. And he'll ask me a question or I'll ask him a question. Our immediate response now is like, ask the ChatGPT, ask it. What does it say? We just call it it. So go in there and see what kind of ideas you can generate. So this is how you can use your call to actions. And these are some prompts that you can use. So this is just a sample of different prompts that you can use to create these different things for you. I highly suggest focusing on using your content to create email lists and using your email lists to get all of that contact information from everybody, like birthdays, holiday specials, anniversaries, do they celebrate this? Do they celebrate that? Kids' birthdays, pets. So email lists is where you really want to pull that information in. I actually teach you how to use ChatGPT in a local workshop. I was talking about I do seminars. I have one coming up in October in Clearwater, or October 4th, next Wednesday in Clearwater, talking about how to actually build these funnels and these email lists. That I think this is one of the most important things with social media is we make content, and I make a lot of content on almost every platform and under various names just for myself, not even other people. And I focus on how do I get these people off of here and into my website and into the database so they know who's communicating with them. It's important for us to make sure that we have everybody's information as just small business owners. So here's a little conclusion. I don't know if we went fast, but I definitely want to leave time for questions. In conclusion, operating without a traditional marketing firm might seem like a tall order. We start businesses or we grow in business and we think, who can we hire to help, to create? You don't need to do that anymore with tools like ChatGPT. It's literally like having a marketing firm right in front of you of 5 of the best marketers in your town, city, state. All you have to do is make sure that you're branding it appropriately, even if you're just using Keller Williams information. Compliance. Let's talk about this really quickly. I put this in all of my presentations, is that it doesn't have all of the rules and regulations, right? It doesn't know everything that we're responsible for, and we are responsible for a lot. A lot of this falls on our shoulders. We want to make sure what we're posting is accurate. You can give ChatGPT the rules, laws like housing and development, any of the acts. I mean, you could give it the whole real estate book from Florida if you wanted to. Or you could even remind it, hey, listen, don't forget, I am a realtor. I need you to follow fair housing. I need you to make sure that we don't have anything discriminatory. I need, whatever it is that you want to make sure that you're not doing, you can do that. You can put the law in there. You could give it rules to always follow every time it gives you a response. Human review. You really need to review everything it sends you a couple times. Make sure what's in there, the emojis it's using, the hashtags it's using. There's always a fault, right? There's always going to be something. So definitely do that. And then this is my information again. If you scan that QR code, you will be brought to a place to subscribe to my email newsletter. I send out a weekly newsletter about short form video, how to use different apps, building email newsletters, blogging, anything that you can use content for, I can educate you in on my website. And then I also have a real estate subscription coming soon where you'll be able to get information from me on what you should be posting, captions, hashtags. If you don't want to think about it, if this sounds like way too much work and maybe it's just bothersome. I know some people don't love getting involved and actually learning something new. I can help you. I can do it for you. So we're creating a subscription plan for that too, because it is gaining popularity. Artificial intelligence isn't the future, it's today. They're using it today. People are, oh, wow, you guys are subscribing. It's like popping up on my phone. Thank you. Artificial intelligence is today. And if I can give you one piece of information that I've learned being maybe outside of real estate and in this seat where it comes to AI and all of the things that everyone is talking about when it comes to danger, compliance, the future, what we give it, it's learning about humanity. So if we're going to be on ChatGPT, I have no issues saying please and thank you every now and then. I think it's actually a responsibility personally for me when I'm using things like this, because I want to teach it that we're using this to build things. We're using this to create business. I think today it's free. Tomorrow we might have to pay for it. So the more that you can get out of it. Before I forget, the absolute biggest tip that please walk away with is that everything that you put into ChatGPT and that it gives you, you should save. Like Facebook that broke down for 24 hours or 28 hours in 2021, that can happen to this AI at any moment. So I have all of these threads with all these people and businesses and whatever. I save everything in Google Drive. I'll download Google Drive into PDFs, print them, and put them away if they're really important. I save everything that I put in and everything that I get out so I don't forget a really excellent prompt, A. And B, so I make sure I have that information. If I designed a landing page, I want to make sure that I kept that whole design and I'm not just relying on this internet system. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? I know we went through a lot there. Ryan, are you there?
I am here. I'm looking in the chat here to see if there's any questions. I do see some comments just saying that it was very helpful. And thank you very much.
I see.
That was good. Here's Juan
Thank
Carlo
you.
saying thank you very much. Then we got Tracy saying you're pretty awesome. Tracy's awesome also, but
yeah, if you guys need anything, you can email me at radnetmedia@gmail.com. I'm going to do some virtual events soon on my website. I like the StreamYard. I might pick this up, Ryan.
it is nice. It gives a nice clean format. It makes it easy to transition from screen to screen.
Yeah, I saw some other questions. If you guys don't have questions about this, some questions this morning that I saw is who can help us with social media. We talked about briefly how I have this subscription coming out, but if you have a team, even if you're not near, I'm in Clearwater, so even if you're not around, I can definitely help you. Even if you don't have a team, I can definitely help you. We can work it out. I work with some agents all over the country or some businesses all over the country. And how much should it cost? I loved this question. How much should it cost? It shouldn't really cost any more than $2,000 a month. If you're paying somebody $2,000 a month, they should be coming to you and filming you and basically living in your business. And pricing on things like this can get extreme. How can we sign up to a seminar? So I'm going to release a seminar, and if you subscribe today, I'll have you marked as from this event if you subscribe to my email newsletter. And then I'm going to email everyone about my next virtual seminar. So if you have one, if you're local and you want to come see me local, I have an events tab on my website too, where all my local events are. Right now, my next one is in downtown Clearwater area. And I'm talking about building email newsletters. So you'll actually leave that one with bi-weekly email newsletters branded to your business, no matter what it is.
So question, there's all these different types of AI. How much should you spend on the AI? Which one should you go with? I know you've got GPT here. I know there's Google Bard. There's several others out there as well.
Yeah. I only mess with this one because every time I go to a new platform, I have to learn it. And that's one of the things that will stop me. If I have to spend a long time learning something, then I'm not going to do it. I don't have that kind of patience to begin with. Sometimes it's worth learning something new. I made it a point to learn this because I feel like this company is the one that's going to go on longer than maybe anybody else. Or I honestly think they're primed to buy other AI before it succeeds above them.
Okay. That's fair.
All right.
What are some other prompts that people should look into? You got any suggestions or prompts?
I like to use it. So I actually build websites. And if you guys are working on your Keller Williams website, you can use ChatGPT for that as well and tell it that you're looking to build your website and you want some more information about the layout. What kind of tab should a real estate agent in this city have? You know, there's also, I use it for content ideas. So we're all in South Florida. We're all tourist spots. If I was to pick Clearwater, I would say, what are the top 10 things that people should be doing in Clearwater, Florida with kids, and make some video. I think the single most powerful thing that we can make video about, especially in Florida as real estate agents, is tourism and travel. Go to all of the beautiful hotels, film your video there, do tours and walkthroughs, go to downtowns and bars and restaurants, any events. You don't have to post your kids, but if you bring your kids to events, do a video about the event. Voiceovers are my favorite thing for real estate. And you could find all of the secret places, if they existed before January of 2022, ChatGPT will tell you where they are. Yeah. So I think that's a great place to start with content.
If you have moved over to our new websites, and I'm not advocating that everybody go move over to our new website right now, but if you have, they have blogs on them now. So you can go ahead and start using this to start writing your blogs and putting them in there. And the reason I say I'm not advocating for that is because if you've already got a website that you've put together, the landing pages aren't currently moving over. So I don't want you to lose all your material. So what I suggest is you get with your Market Center Tech trainers and work with them to see if it's right for you to move over right now. But if you have not put a website together or you just haven't played with it, then definitely go ahead and set up the new website. Again, work with your Market Center Tech trainer so they can help you, and you can start using those blogs and use ChatGPT or any of the others that you want to learn. I personally have been testing Bard since they started on it and working with them on it. I love it.
You like it?
I do like it. I think it's a little bit more robust when it comes to it now than ChatGPT is, because ChatGPT is not connected to the internet currently.
It's connected, yeah.
It's not. They disconnected it because it's going past paywalls. So
but Bard's connected.
It's connected, so you can get some of that stuff that's a little bit more granular, that's more up to date. On that side, I'm not advocating for either one of them. All I'm just saying is I played with them. I like them both. You just got to choose which is best for you. I do like that in Google Google Bard, it will fact check itself and show you where the information came from. So that's nice.
Yeah.
You can't use them with our KW email addresses though, because it is still in beta and it's still testing, but it does connect to other apps and stuff like that as well, such as Google's version of Word. So their sheets, their docs, their slides and stuff like that. It all connects to that stuff. So you can pull out of it.
I'll have to check it out.
It's free. And that's my budget here. Brett put in here is $20 a month for ChatGPT, which to me, for $20 a month to have it do all this stuff is well worth it, and it gives you some more advanced features. And they're being able to connect to the different apps in there.
So the $20 a month is a good option if you're going to be using it a lot, because it's less likely to kick you off. If it's free and it's a high traffic time, you're going to have trouble getting on. And it also does, the pay option is updated faster, so it will give you some shockingly incredible things that the free option won't. But if you're just getting started, just use it for free.
I agree. Get used to playing with it first.
Yeah, how the prompts work and things like that. And I think I had like some things that everybody can do on their own if you have.
Yeah, definitely. I was going to say that the next section is we're going to have these people, again, go back with their Market Center Tech trainers or in their training room, wherever you're at, and work on a couple of tasks that Natalie has put together for you. So you want to give them something to do for the next 30 minutes when we come back for our last session, which is all in Spanish. So if you guys are sticking around, please stick around for the music, listen to music, work on your task that Nellie's going to give you, and then we're going to have our last session in Spanish. So if you don't speak Spanish, you want to hear it in Spanish to learn it, stick around. If you do speak Spanish and you want to hear it, please stick around, because Sasha is going to be giving you the last session completely in Spanish. So what are your 3 things that you think they should go do in this next 30 minutes?
Definitely get a free version of ChatGPT. And I think the best thing that you can do is write down some bullet points about yourself, because we all struggle with writing a bio. And I use it to write my bio for everything. And if you could just put some bullet points about maybe how long you've been in business, the industry that you came from before, if you're newer, what you already specialize in. Like, some people are extremely conversational. That's a great, strong piece of information about you. Put it in there and have it write your bio. You can also have it create the bios for your Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. I've actually said, can you please format me my LinkedIn profile about me? And it already had all the information about me. And it gave me the headline, the subject, like all the things that LinkedIn asks you for that maybe other bios don't. It listed it all, the skills, everything from the information that I gave it. So starting with your bio, having that thread saved in there, you can rename them. and they pop up on the left side of your screen. Having it saved, and then anytime you need to do it again, whether it's for your website, a listing presentation has bios in it, a buyer presentation, anything like that, you can use that thread to keep making those formatted for different things, because you'd be amazed at how much it pops up when you start creating stuff.
So you get signed into ChatGPT, and then feed it some bullet points about yourself to create a bio. Is there anything else?
Just play around with it. Ask it some questions. I told my husband, who's not techie at all, when he started, I said, pick something that you know a lot about, that you're passionate about, and ask it some questions, and you'll understand the answer. So don't just go into asking it things that you don't really know much about. If you're not a luxury agent, you start asking about luxury agency, then that's going to be a problem for you because you're not sure about what it's saying. But if you come from the health and wellness, if you come from yoga, if you're a nurse, ask it about stuff that you already know about, hobbies, things like that, and see what information it gives you. I even use it for homeschooling. Like, what activity can these 3 age groups do together, in an hour? And it gives me some information. So you can use it for anything. It's not just work, branding, media, things like that. You could really play around with it for your whole life if you wanted to.
Awesome. So they've got 3 things to go work on this with, and I think we're good. Yeah. ChatGPT.
Thank you.
Chat.openai.com. So there's that one. So go to chat.openai. Don't just go to OpenAI. Make sure you get the chat.
Yeah.
And also, if you want to go try Google Bard, it's just bard.google.com. And again, please remember, you can't use that with your KW account. It's still an experiment. So our KW accounts don't let us into those to protect us. So if you have another Gmail account, which almost everybody in the world seems to, you can go into it that way.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Natalie, for joining us. And I do want to talk to you offline a little bit later. We'll talk about your seminars and stuff.
Yeah, seminars. All right.
Again,
thank you.
We are going to be doing seminars next month. I've got a couple of great speakers. I'm looking for a couple more. So if you know anybody who is doing seminars at a high level, please send them to me. My email address is southfloridartt@kw.com. Let me know who you know that is doing seminars at a high level. Thank you, Natalie, for joining us today. And we're going to put some music on, and we're going to come back with Sasha Valdez, who's going to talk to you about all social media, but she's going to do it in Spanish, which I'm going to listen because I'm trying to improve my Spanish. So join us again here in a little less than 30 minutes. But we're going to give you some music while we take it away.
We break up and you slam the door. I messed up on the bedroom floor. What the hell do we do this for? I push you out, but you come back. That attraction, we can't fight that. Oh, keep telling myself that I should let go, but I hold on. And oh, keep telling myself that I should move on, but I don't. 'Cause we got that mad love, we got that sad love, we got that fun love, we got that young love, yeah, that dumb love. 'Cause we got that mad love, we got that sad love, we got that fun love, we got that young love, yeah, that dumb love. We got that, 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 we got that love, we got that, we got that. Kiss me and the world disappears. Tell me the things that I wanna hear. I just wanna stay right here. You push me out, but I come back. That attraction, we can't fight that. Oh, keep telling myself that I should let go, but I hold on. And oh, keep telling myself that I should move on, but I don't. 'Cause we got that mad love, we got that sad love, we got that fun love, we got that young love, yeah, that dumb love. 'Cause we got that mad love, we got that sad love, we got that fun love, we got that young love, yeah, that dumb love. We got that love, we got that, 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 we If you would keep me waiting, I would wait a lifetime. In tricky situations, I will be a lifeline. Nobody's meant to be fighting alone. That's why I'm taking you home. I never felt something like this before, no. Keep coming back for you time after time. Maybe I'm losing my mind, but I know I'll never leave you behind, no. Baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the moves, yeah, baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the hoops, yeah, baby, I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. Baby, I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. Ocean in between us, still I feel your heartbeat. There's something about you, baby, that makes me feel complete. Nobody's meant to be fighting alone. That's why I'm taking you home. I never felt something like this before, no. Keep coming back for you time after time. Maybe I'm losing my mind, but I know I'll never leave you behind, no. Baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the moves, yeah, baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the hoops, yeah, baby, I got you. 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 Baby, I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. And the world is going wild when they come for you. And the river's running dry when it all falls through. Don't you worry about a thing, baby, I got you. Yeah, baby, I got you. Work is almost over, summer's getting closer. No time to be sober, sunshine on my shoulders. I'm alive and breathing, living my best life. Love is on my mind and it's making me high. I'm staying in this moment, though it's hard sometimes, but I work it out every once in a while. I feel the love, I feel it growing every day. I feel the love, I feel the love. I hope it never goes away. I feel the love, love, love.
Hello and good afternoon. This is Ryan Yarbrough. I am your Regional Technology Director for South Florida. And mi español es muy poquito. So I'm going to have Sasha Valdez on with us shortly. She's having a little bit of issues with her internet, so letting her get that worked out real quick. But I wanted to advertise while we're on here waiting for her that we have next month, we're going to be doing Take Command. It is our final Take Command of the month. I'm sorry, of the year, and it's going to be on seminars, okay? So we're going to teach about seminars. If you or anybody you know does seminars and does them at a high level, please feel free to reach out to me. My email address is southfloриdartt@kw.com. Again, that's southfloриdartt@kw.com. And if you know anybody that does seminars and you do them at a high level, I'd love to hear from you. These are part of the playbooks that KWI provides for us. This month is social media, and we're going from the playbook of social media. And I do have Sasha Valdez, who is an amazing agent out of the South Florida region, and she is here. She's been a friend of ours before, and she is going to teach you about social media here. If we can hopefully get her Wi-Fi to communicate or work with us. You there, Sasha?
I am. I'm having some difficulty with the sudden storm that is going on outside. I apologize because I'm having very bad connection on my end.
You can see that you're starting to come in a little bit better now. So hopefully it starts to gradually increase. All right. You've got a slideshow. If you want to tell everybody who you are, I'll pull your slideshow up for you and let you.
Okay, I'm not sure. Ryan, can you hear me? Because there's a really bad storm going on outside, so I apologize.
Yeah, I can hear you fine now.
Okay, beautiful. So I will begin, I guess, now. And thank you so much for having me here. I wanted to go over just a lot of what yo sé lo que es empezar de cero para poder empezar con lo que es las redes sociales auténtico. Yo he visto que muchas veces nosotros pensamos que hacer las cosas a la manera que alguien más replicar lo que está haciendo otra persona sí sirve, pero a veces no estamos hablando con nuestras voces. Encuentro que ahora yo misma estoy en esta posición de redes y estoy empezando también de nuevo y me estoy dando cuenta que muchas de las cosas que hacemos y replicamos es una manera muy chévere porque podemos agregar y ayudar a todo el mundo. Lo bonito es que vamos a poder agregar y hacer las cosas en una manera que tenemos nuestra voz y vamos a poder agregar a la audiencia en ver qué tipo de valor nosotros les podemos dar. Para mí es muy importante hablar con las personas uno y uno como si uno está hablando con un amigo o con un profesional y está dando ayuda. Eso es importante porque cuando uno parece muy robote o a veces uno piensa que tienes que sonar muy directo y muy fijo y todo eso y la gente no le gusta, se aburre. Entonces, para mí es muy importante poder agregar y ayudar a las personas una ayuda muy grande. Voy a tratar de presentar y ver si me sirve ahora agregar que todavía estamos con la misma página con los primeros pasos. Hoy vamos a hablar sobre nuestros pasos y cómo es empezar con Facebook, empezar con Instagram, tener las fotos apropiadas para WhatsApp y para poder también agregar todas estas bellas fotos y videos hacia tu YouTube. Porque lo que nosotros tenemos que acordarnos como agentes es que nuestro reflejo va a estar siempre puesto en los sociales. Entonces, aunque uno hable con una persona por teléfono o estás mandando un texto o tuviste la oportunidad de hablar con ellos en persona, es las impresiones después que te van a estar presentando con los amigos. Mira, yo conocí a tal Sacha, ella es así. O mira, yo quiero trabajar con esta señora o con este señor y ellos hacen este trabajo tal cual. Y eso es la presentación que uno quiere tener. Sociales red en una manera buena es para dejar la impresión que siga sirviendo una y otra vez más hacia tu ayuda. Y lo que va a hacer es dejar una impresión que ellos van a poder replicar y enseñárselo a la familia o a un amigo, a la esposa, al esposo, a un hijo, y van a decir, ¿sabes qué? Yo conseguí una persona muy bacana por el internet. Creo que ellos de verdad me gustan la manera como trabajan, me gustan cómo presentaron, me dan valor, me están enseñando restaurantes y áreas donde yo quiero vivir, capaz que los podamos retirar a esta área. Y para eso es muy importante saber cómo agregar una buena impresión y con eso vamos a poder agregar muchas más audiencias y muchos más clientes y poder ayudar a todos en lo que va a ser el equipo de Buenas Raíces, ¿no? Estoy tratando de presentar y ver si yo puedo compartir mi pantalla. Y si compartimos mi pantalla, quiero agregar que podamos ver. Vamos a ver si me sirve. A ver si puedo ayudar. Ok. Agregar ahora. Me dan un segundo que ha tenido problemas en ayudar con la página. Gracias, Ryan. Voy a hacer así para poder que me ayudes con la página. Ryan, if I can hold up a thumbs up, we can go on to the next page. Thank you so much. Cuando empiezas desde cero, yo quiero que ustedes se den cuenta que cada página que uno está abriendo, uno ayuda una página a la otra. Lo mismo que es un video, lo mismo que es una foto, lo mismo que van a ser tus intereses personales o lo que va a ser tu específica ayuda para las personas. Puede ser residencial, puede ser comercial. Para mí es muy importante que la gente sepa quién soy. El valor que yo traigo, soy la persona que ayuda a los clientes que están entrando de otras partes del país. Yo quiero ser una persona de valor para ellos. Entonces, el Facebook mío, el Instagram mío y el YouTube mío son todas cosas que para mí tienen valor. En eso yo les puedo agregar lo que van a ser fotos del día a día mío, puede ser videos de algo que encontré interesante, capaz estoy ayudando con datos del mercado, ahorita tenemos cuántas casas que están entrando en el mercado o tenemos muy poco inventario o capaz que abrieron un nuevo parque y las familias que tengan hijos pequeños puedan ir a esa área o también puede ser algo tan fácil como una ayuda. Aquí yo soy una especialista que ayuda con las personas que están empezando desde cero también, pero que no saben cómo comprar una casa. Entonces, para mí el valor que yo doy es poder agregar todas estas imágenes y videos en una manera fácil que ellos puedan usarla. Ellos también pueden, sin tener que pedirme tanta ayuda, pueden decir, Sacha, voy a ver si ella ya hizo esta respuesta. ¿Cómo consigo un empresario para abrir una panadería? Pueden decir algo como, quiero saber cómo es posible ver una casa, pero solamente tengo 3% de entrada, ¿qué tipo de casa puedo conseguir? O si ya tengo contrato, ¿qué me van a ayudar? Porque ahora veo que la plomería no estaba sirviendo en la casa. Esas son cosas pequeñas, pero como nosotros estamos en esta industria, sabemos las respuestas, pero la persona que está en la audiencia no. Entonces, para mí es muy importante que uno da valor. Ryan, can we go to the next one? Lo más bonito que me gusta es que esta es tu oportunidad de representarte al mundo. Mientras que estás en vivo, estás mirando una casa, digamos, a mí me da una oportunidad de poder enseñarle a las personas algo bonito. Como hoy día me toca un open house en Deerfield y lo que voy a hacer es presentarme. Hola, yo soy Sacha, yo puedo ayudarte, hablo inglés en español. Esta casa tiene 4 cuartos, 3 baños, tal cual, está en una residencia muy bonita, tenemos parques alrededor y también eso ayuda para que las personas que están buscando a un representante que les importa las mismas cosas, los mismos valores y pueda ayudarle en todo paso, ahí con eso van a poder agregarme a las sociales. Capaz que no hagan negocio hoy, pero me empiezan a seguir y ven que las mismas cosas que ellos se sienten cómodos hablar conmigo, yo también les puedo ayudar en su camino. Esta es la oportunidad muy grande porque si tú eres cómico, tírate chistes. Si eres muy serio, sé serio. Si eres una persona que le gusta el deporte o tienes muchos niños o capaz te gusta viajar, este es el momento más importante porque te puedes representar. Y tú vas a ver que el cliente que es para ti te va a buscar y se va a dar mucha felicidad y mucho conocimiento y mucha eh, ¿cómo se dice? Tengo el trabalengua. Le va a dar confianza en trabajar contigo. Porque acuérdate que el Facebook tuyo, el Instagram tuyo y tu persona es lo que estás representando para poder ayudarles en el camino. Nosotros tenemos muchas personas que hacen este negocio, pero no todo el mundo lo va a hacer como tú lo haces. Y eso es lo bonito porque vas a poder dar esa representación en tus sociales. Ryan, can we go to the next one? Ahora, esto es importante. ¿Cuál es tu mensaje? Yo sigo diciendo esto porque muchas veces uno se da cuenta que hay diferentes agentes de buenas raíces y unos son muy metidos en la familia, en las familias y familiar. Ayudan a las personas que tengan cabros niños chiquitos, personas que son ya con hijos estudiantes ya de la universidad, capaz que a ti te gusta una vida de riqueza. A ti te gusta mirar los restaurantes nuevos, te gusta ir a las nuevas cinemas, te gusta ir a los recreos que son más abundantes, que son más de noche o de fiesta. Ese es el mensaje que tú le vas a dar a tu audiencia. Y lo bonito es que hay muchas diferentes personas que ellos también están en esa misma parte de su vida. Entonces, si tú tienes hijos y estás muy metida con lo que es jugar fútbol, lo que te gusta mucho el recreo y los parques, hace esa parte de tu personalidad. Así puedes conocer otras personas que también lo están buscando. Si a ti te gusta mucho el restaurante nuevo y te gusta estar siempre en lugares donde hay mucha fiesta o mucha celebración y puedes tomarte fotos y tienes una vida abundancia de lujo, hace esa la personalidad que estás representando. Porque te apuesto que una persona que también le gusta esas mismas cosas van a querer trabajar con alguien que los entiende. Al fin, la representación de tu mensaje es súper importante, entonces tiene que ser reflejos de lo que uno se siente para que la pasión se te salga y las personas puedan verse trabajando contigo. También puse una casita aquí porque digamos que eres una persona que le gusta inversiones y que conoces mucho lo que está pasando en los movimientos del mercado de un área. Sería muy buena idea de poder salir al gusto tuyo y conseguirte diferentes personas que capaz quieran trabajar contigo y darle el portfolio con tu profesionalismo y con tu conocimiento. Entonces, cada aspecto de lo que tú estás poniendo en una página red es lo que la audiencia se está dando cuenta y vas a ver que diferentes clientes te van a entrar suponiendo que ellos están con algo que les agrede a su interés a la página. Thank you, Ryan. La agenda del día. Para mí es muy importante que uno cuando está empezando tenga su idea de lo que va a estar representando en el video o en una foto o que estás dando como tu mensaje. Para mí son 3 cosas que estoy haciendo. Puede ser que hoy estoy mirando un apartamento, hoy estoy haciendo búsqueda de casa. Todavía no la he conseguido, pero voy a estar buscando casas que un cliente está buscando para alquilar o capaz para comprar o capaz alguien te está ubicando para vender su casa. Tú puedes grabar videos y poniéndote tú misma para que ellos te graben de tú trabajando en el computador. O capaz puedas llevar tu celular, que siempre uno lo tiene con uno, y tomar videos de la casa que viste. Claro que con permiso del otro agente y siempre agregando que estás haciendo bien, ¿no? Entonces, protegiendo siempre los demás y también con permiso de la gente con cual estás presentando la casa. Pero si tomas videos de 3 cosas que hiciste ese día, la gente va a saber que tú estás haciendo trabajo y que estás ocupado. Lo bonito también es que a mí me gusta mirar 3 cosas que estoy haciendo hoy día o también 3 puntos de ayuda. Cada día nosotros tenemos una oportunidad de ayudar a alguien. Capaz que le dimos un buen consejo. Mira, señor comprador, yo sé que usted está buscando esta casa que queda en Miramar y yo sé que usted quiere un buen patio, pero yo encontré una casa que queda en Pembroke Pines y se la quisiera enseñar en particular con una persona, capaz que otra persona que está mirando tu página pueda aprender algo. Entonces, para mí es muy importante a una audiencia mirar lo que estamos haciendo porque uno nunca sabe la ayuda, cómo le va a llegar o quién va a escuchar el mensaje y le va a salir el bombillo de, wow, eso también me pertenece a mí. A mí también me gusta hablar de lo que está pasando con las finanzas. Ahorita mismo tuvimos un programa que se llamaba Hometown Heroes y eso estaba dando ayuda hasta $100 millones hacia la compra de una casa si era el primer comprador. Si eras comprando tu casa, primer comprador, después que abrieron las puertas a todos que estaban trabajando aquí en los Estados Unidos. No quiero hablar mucho del programa, pero eso era un punto muy grande que nosotros tuvimos como una ventaja. Ahorita tenemos programas que también están en diferentes ciudades, que ellos ayudan puede ser una compra en la ciudad. Uno tiene que averiguar en qué áreas estás trabajando y qué tipo de programas de financia hay o qué tipos de programas el lender puede tener para que tú siempre tengas la comunicación abierta, porque con los programas nuevos que están existiendo o programas que existen para las personas que están como compradores por primera vez, hay mucho conocimiento cuando uno está a este lado de la mesa, pero no cuando uno está comprando. Acuérdate que esta gente no sabe nada. Entonces, si tú puedes agregar, aunque sea un punto al día, de algo que puedan aprender algo de ti, te van a ver de valor. Otra cosa que a mí me gusta, uno tiene que ser profesional con sus páginas, pero es muy importante también ser una persona de interés. Porque si todo lo que estás poniendo es casa tras casa tras casa, la gente se va a aburrir de lo que va a ser tu página. Pero si estás comiendo algo rico, un buen almuerzo, una buena cena, encontraste una nueva cafetería que te gusta, un boutique, algo, es muy bueno compartirlo también, porque ahora ellos pueden regresar a tu página y tú le estás dando valor. Ahora saben que tú sabes profesionalmente cómo ser un negocio. También le estás ayudando con diferentes programas, capaz ese día, con consejos. También estás enseñando casas en áreas que capaz ellos quieran comprar o vender. Y también ven que vos eres una persona de verdad y que eres humana igual que ellos. Y muchas veces si ellos ven que uno comparte la misma comida de gusto o les gustan las mismas localizaciones o capaz les diste una idea buena de dónde ir, ellos también van a poder agregar y empezar a hablar contigo. Porque acuérdate que lo que es la impresión de las sociales no es solamente en comprar y vender, es ser humana o humano y tratar de ser una persona con cual ellos quieran trabajar. Esta transacción es la más grande de sus vidas, muchas veces. Entonces, si ellos ven que eres una persona de confianza, que eres una persona pensativa de los demás, o ven también que le hiciste buen negocio a alguien, como un restaurante pequeño, o la manera que tú tratas a las personas, ellos también van a poder dar confianza contigo y tratar de trabajar contigo. Ryan, the next one. Para mí es muy importante y lo más importante que he escuchado en estos últimos meses, y lo escucho una y dos y tres veces más cada vez que yo voy a cualquier tipo de mastermind, especialmente con Keller Williams, o ellos te están contando con los mega agentes, que son personas que tienen 100,000 personas que lo están siguiendo en las sociales red, es que ellos tienen una regla de 5-5-5. Eso significa que antes que vas a poner algo por la página, 5 minutos antes que tú pongas algo o que hagas tu video, tú vas a comentar, hablar o mandarle algo a 5 diferentes personas para que ya lo que va a hacer el computador de estas sociales ven que estás activo. También que tú ya pongas tu página o viste tu video o ya pusiste la foto que queriste agregar. 5 minutos después, yo quiero que tú también empieces a hablar con otras personas, porque el programa de Facebook y lo que es la matemática del computador, como ellos trabajan, están enseñando que cuando uno está compartiendo activamente y no solamente está mandando una foto y lo deja ahí, pero 5 minutos antes empiezas a hablar con 5 personas y le mandas tu página o le mandas una receta, le mandas un happy face, no importa lo que estás haciendo, pero ven que estás activo, van a poner a tu página más adelante para que no sea corriendo con todas las demás. Entonces, acuérdense, 5 minutos antes, hablen con 5 personas diferentes y 5 minutos después también abren conversaciones o manden videos o hagas cualquier tipo de interacción. Porque más y más que estás hablando y cambiando mensajes con personas, más y más van a ver que eres activo. Thank you, Ryan. Brian, can you change to the next one?
I did. That is the
Bueno,
next one.
aquí estamos hablando ahora. Lo bonito de lo que me gusta de este proceso es que muchas veces las personas piensan, ¿qué es lo que voy a hacer? ¿A quién le hablo? ¿Qué voy a mandar? Por ejemplo, yo tengo un mensaje del día. Yo siempre empiezo el día mío y yo mando, tú tienes la capacidad de hacerlo todo. Vamos hacia adelante porque lo más feo a veces es tener la motivación, pero la acción siempre sigue. Entonces, si yo voy a mandar un mensaje así, yo estoy asegurando que le estoy mandando un buenos días, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo va todo? A 5 diferentes personas. O también estoy hablando con diferentes personas de la industria que también están haciendo los mismos movimientos míos para que yo también me pueda agregar a lo que va a ser el círculo de ellos y para poder tener la audiencia de ellos también. Esto es muy importante para poder agregar y ayudar que el sistema de Facebook y el sistema de Instagram sepan que estás activo. Entonces, acuérdense, 555 y va a ser una ayuda muy grande. Estoy esperando que me cambien. Perfecto. Ahora tenemos la lista de verificación. Yo quisiera que cada uno de ustedes empiecen a tomar muchas fotos y muchos videos cuando están afuera. Nosotros lo llamamos B-roll, que es básicamente, digamos, puede ser tus pies caminando en la arena y estás tomando foto de los pies. Puede ser que estás en un carro y están pasando los árboles. Puede ser que es una comida, tienes un plato con un jugo y puedes tomarle fotos así de un plato, un jugo, o puede ser una actividad, puede ser un parque, puede ser una ola de la playa, no importa lo que es. Más que nada, yo quiero que empieces a tomar muchos videos de las cosas que tú ves para que otras personas también lo puedan ver, pero más que nada para que siempre tengas un tipo de video original que le puedas poner letra por encima que está mandando un mensaje de acción. Es muy importante también tener organización con las categorías. Si estás tomando fotos de afuera o de un restaurante o si estás tomando fotos de familias en un evento o una audiencia o si vas a un evento de buenas raíces, todo lo que tú tengas, ponlo en una organización, en una manera buena para que cuando estés dando un mensaje, el mensaje pueda corregir con lo que va a ser el video de atrás. Es muy importante planear la semana entera porque si no se te puede ir el día entero tratando de hacer videos y tratando de tener ideas. Es muy bueno si empiezas un domingo o un lunes y tú tomas todos los temas que quieres dar por la semana. Acuérdate, si es solamente un tema por semana, un tema por día o un truco por día o una ayuda por día, la tienes ya lista el lunes. Entonces, para el miércoles, el jueves, el viernes, sábado, domingo, ya tú tienes todo listo para la semana y tú lo puedes agregar y lo publicas al mismo tiempo todos los días. Ahora están diciendo que no es tan importante, pero entre 9 a 12 tenemos mucha audiencia que está mirando su celular. Entonces, muy buena idea, si tú tienes tus fotos y tus videos y estás organizado, que tú puedas agregarlas fácilmente de tu computador o de tu celular. Lo bonito es que si lo tienes planeado una semana antes, aunque no sea la idea más fantástica, por lo menos estás agregando algo, porque muchas veces es las penas que los matan y a veces nosotros no los metemos al internet y no ponemos nada por no tener una idea buena o pensar que no es suficiente y eso no es el caso. Acuérdate que más y más estás dando un impacto al mundo, más y más la impresión estás dejando. Lo bonito es que si lo haces con organización, y lo tienes todo planeado, ya no tienes que quitarte ningún tiempo ni tampoco te va a dar susto haciendo estos mensajes pequeños. Hola, es lunes. Hoy día te quiero dar un consejo hacia la limpieza de las ventanas. Es muy bueno la limpieza y tal cual. Hola, es viernes. Me encantaría enseñarte este nuevo parque que tenemos aquí en Weston. Me encantaría enseñarte una nueva comida chilena que llegó en Brickell. Lo que sea. No importa lo que estás diciendo, pero ya tú tienes muchas diferentes cosas que decir y ya lo tenías planeado para que el día que llegue solamente tienes que abrir tu celular, agregarlo y pasarlo. Lo bonito es que aquí es tu página. Nadie te la está tomando tan serio, pero si todos los días estás teniendo lo que, ¿cómo se dice? Content nuevo, siempre sirve muy bien. Entonces, vamos a ver, lo bonito de todo es que esto va a ser en una manera que te va a agregar y ayudar a tu familia crecer, porque ahora tu familia, tus amigos, tus colegios profesionales, todo ven que tú eres muy activo todos los días en Instagram y todos los días en Facebook. Y lo bonito de Instagram es que cuando uno lo comparte, automáticamente se van las historias de Facebook. Entonces, no tienes que ni trabajar tan duro, trata de trabajar inteligentemente. Ryan, can we go to the next one? A mí me fascinan estos recursos. Quisiera que todo el mundo le tome la foto para que vean todo lo que están usando. Para mí es súper importante tener buenas apps en el teléfono de uno y en el computador. Yo, por ejemplo, a mí me gusta mucho lo que va a ser PicStitch y Layout. Yo personalmente las uso también como Adobe Lightroom. Estas son todas cosas que tú las puedes agregar a tu celular, son gratis y te ayuda a agregar luz, bajar luz o hacer diferentes cosas con el computador o con el celular de tus manos mismas. Entonces, así, si tomas una buena foto, pero la quieres cambiar o darle un poco más de luz o volverla blanca y negra, hacerla más interesante, tú puedes hacerla así. Para los videos me fascina el app que se llama Captions. Captions se está usando mucho porque lo bonito es que puedes grabar directamente de tu celular y te salen las palabras. Porque acuérdate que muchas personas cuando están mirando videos a veces están en la oficina o están con niños o están en un lugar público. Entonces es muy bueno que siempre le dejes la letra para que las personas puedan seguir lo que estás diciendo y leerlo profundamente. Para mí me gusta Captions porque te lo da en inglés y te da versiones en español o en diferentes lenguajes. Me gusta para las indicaciones. Digamos que te gustó una foto y ahora la quieres agregar, pero no tienes ni la remota idea de qué es lo que vas a escribir. Puedes meterte en ChatGPT y decir, chat, ponme un post para Instagram que es de familias buscando casa al lado de la playa, que se conecten conmigo y déjame saber cómo, y dales mi número. Es instantáneamente a tu social red. Es muy, muy bonito. Tenemos la oportunidad de poder hacer todo en nuestras manos. Voy a agregar todo estas, por favor, comuníquense conmigo y yo igualmente se las mando y hasta puedo hacer un tutorial si necesitas ayuda también. Ryan, we can go to the last one. Entonces, yo misma estoy abriendo un nuevo Instagram que se llama Muévete Miami. y ustedes mismos van a poder ver cómo lo estoy creciendo y estoy usando todos estos mismos pasos para que todos los días mi nueva página va a crecer y yo quisiera ver de ahora con estos mismos pasos que hablamos hoy. Pero agrego muchos días más y más. Ryan, can you place the last one? So if anyone wants, yo estoy con el grupo Aponte.
It looks like we lost everybody, but this is her information. If you would please take a snapshot of it and share with her. I'm sure she'd appreciate it. She put a lot of hard work into this, and I appreciate her doing this. Thank you, everybody who joined us today. If you've been here from the beginning, very much thank you. I hope you got a lot out of it. If you could do me a favor, go to the chat, and if you could give me just a few tidbits of what you got out of today, like what was the best part of today. I'm gonna go ahead and wait. While I'm waiting for you guys to put that in there in the chat, I will give you a couple of mine. First, I think the 555 is a really, really, really good one. One of the things I've learned by doing the 555 is that, especially like on their birthdays, if you go in and say happy birthday to them, there's a lot of people that are okay with you saying happy birthday to them, and it kind of sparks that up. I have personally done that in the past, and by just saying happy birthday to them or just by posting those things, all of a sudden you spark that relationship again and they start talking to you. And it takes something that might be an uncomfortable or awkward conversation, just makes it easy. So 555 is a big one. How about you guys? Sasha, I see we got you back here. I was just asking them, since we lost you, I was asking them if they could just give me some tidbits of what they got out of today and throw them into the chat. I'd like to see what our viewers pulled out of today. Is your internet working better now?
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, I apologize. I had no idea it was going to be so choppy. I promise you I will have a router attached to my laptop if we ever do this again.
No worries. It happens. I'm not seeing anybody put anything in here. I know we've got at least we've got quite a few viewers on here. So if you guys could please just do us a favor and communicate with us in the chat by putting in what are some things that you got out of today, whether it be in this session or any of the sessions throughout the day. What are your takeaways? Sasha, were you able to watch any of today? Sasha, were you able to watch
I actually was in 2 buyers consults.
Oh, nice.
I had 2 buyers consults back to back a little earlier, but I'm really grateful because I was able to get some yes.
Good.
But I am going to be able to follow up and see the other girls that were on. I think that it's awesome. I'm very excited to hear some of the lessons that were taught earlier. I saw that we had some real serious all-stars. So I cannot wait to be able to look back at these recordings and share them, especially with some of the agents that I know could get so much value from it.
I will put our link to our website in here. It's going to be KW South Florida region.com. That's our website. And if you go to our videos page, which you just put a /video on there, you'll see once these recordings are done and edited, they'll be put back up there. And if Sasha shared these slides with me, so I'll make sure I put this slide up on the website with it as well, so you can go back and look at them. Nobody wanted to share their takeaways from today, so I guess we will just go ahead and end it with that. What is 3 things that they should take and go and implement right now? The last 30 minutes of this call is for them to go implement. So what should they go into and do right now from your talk and implement it immediately into their business? Well, we did get Anais here. She's one of my Rockstar Market Center Tech trainers, and she said to choose a social media platform and master it using 555. It's a good takeaway. What do you think, Sasha? What are a couple things they should go and implement in their business right away? I know you're a bit delayed, so I'm just waiting for you to hear it. All right, I'll go through her slides, and she's a little bit delayed. And I'll tell you, here's the things right here. You can see she's giving you resources that you can go and get some pictures and get some information from, make posts. So
I apologize.
I would visit those websites and take that information and start putting some posts together. Just play with it. Also go into Command, and you can see in
All
Command
of these
that-
are free, which is important for someone that might be starting.
Absolutely, 100% agree. All free and pretty simple to use. All you gotta do is download the videos or download the photos, and then use the AI to help create the information. Since we're probably realtors, not copywriters, so let it do a lot of that for us. And then fact check it, please. Google Bard does a good job of fact checking. Also, this 555, implement that. It's a simple thing to do. Implement that. Go put that into your business. You can even go in and get a smart plan made to help you implement this, tell you who to talk to each day. Go and do these 5 things. That's what I would tell you to go implement into your business right now. Thank you, Sasha. You did a great job. Appreciate you. And I hope that storm lets up there pretty soon. Bye, guys. Have a great afternoon. And I hope this helped you a lot today. Videos will be up and posted hopefully within the next week.
Well, I believe that anyone that's watching this can definitely see that the 555 rule is the most important, because you need these algorithms to know that you're fully activated. Well, I appreciate you, Ryan. The page is showing a little unresponsive, so I'm not sure if you guys can hear me, but I thank you so much for the opportunity today. And I hope that everyone can see in Espanol that you have an opportunity to lead something good.